everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is McKayla and this is McKayla's Crafts. This is my channel where I talk about all things crafting, mostly knitting and crochet, although I'm hoping to get into sewing sometime soon. If you're new here, then welcome to my channel. If you're here watching this during the spring Knit A Thon when this video premieres, then welcome, and please drop where you're from in the comments below. I wasn't exactly planning to do a spring pattern roundup for the spring Knit A Thon. However, once the temperature got slightly a little bit warmer here in Ohio, then I suddenly lost all the urge to knit. I started thinking a little bit more about crochet. However, I do love to knit just a little bit more than I love to crochet. And if you're anything like me, you're just panicking a little bit about the warm weather just because that means that the wool is probably going to come off your needles. So what I wanted to do was create a pattern roundup where we can see some spring fashion inspiration and see some spring patterns that will allow you to keep the wool on your needles just a little bit longer. So if you're a person who likes to knit with wool, then leave me a comment below. And if you're a person who actually is really looking forward to knitting with the bamboo and the cotton and the linen, then let me know what your favorite yarn is, because I'm gonna need some good recommendations for whatever it is I decide to make this summer. Knitting in the spring is so interesting because the weather varies depending on where you're from. I know that right now during the spring Knit A Thon that I'm gonna have a lot of viewers from Northern Europe, which I'm assuming is still a little bit chilly there. And here in Ohio, we've had some 60-degree days and we've had some 40-degree days. I don't know what the conversions are into Celsius are off the top of my head, but I have the ability for future McKayla to put it on the screen. So that being said, I wanted to include some cardigans and sweaters on my spring pattern roundup that most people would probably not include because they're ready for the warm weather, want to wear the tees and the tanks, but for me, I'm holding on to the wool as long as possible. So the next thing that I did was I went onto Pinterest to try to find some spring knitting inspiration, some outfits, some things that I could use to find different patterns and kind of create some dupes. So I have a lot of Pinterest inspiration specifically for the cardigans, but afterwards I kind of don't have as much Pinterest inspo for the rest of the patterns, but I promise you the patterns are still really, really amazing. And if with your imagination and just knitting and a spring color palette, I'm sure that you will find the perfect way to integrate these into your spring wardrobe. So that's definitely enough chatting from me. Let's just go ahead and talk about the patterns. So I'm gonna start with cardigans, of course, and I wanna mention that I do have some patterns by larger designers and patterns by smaller designers and just a couple free patterns. So the first pattern I want to talk about is the Knit cardigan by Petite Knit. And this cardigan first caught my eye actually while watching a French YouTube channel. I will put their name on the screen. And she has an Knit cardigan that she knit in like a peachy color. And I was like, this is so perfect for spring. The sample color that Petite Knit has knit hers in is actually in red, and I think red is so gorgeous for spring. Actually, one of my favorite Pinterest inspiration pictures is the one with the red cardigan paired with lavender pants. Such a cute color combination that I never would have thought of myself, but of course you could knit this in any tone, like a yellow, a soft orange, a light green. Literally any spring color will do, and you will have a perfect cardigan. So this is a DK weight pattern with the sizes ranging from extra small to 5XL, and it is a V-neck pattern knit in all over brioche. The next pattern similar to the Knit cardigan is another brioche cardigan, and this one is the Daydreamer cardigan. And I actually stumbled on the Daydreamer cardigan while falling in love with another cardigan that was only sold in a kit. And I decided I wanted to find just a pattern that I could buy any yarn that I wanted. And I stumbled upon the Daydreamer cardigan by Kutava Kika. It is similar to the Knit cardigan, except that this pattern is worsted weight and it is all over brioche, but it is a high neck instead of a V-neck. The Pinterest inspiration pictures that I found are so lovely. I love the soft pink version, but I also love the brown version just because it's paired with an all white outfit. I think all white is so symbolic of spring and just fresh and clean, and I absolutely think any color would work to go over an all white outfit, but that's how I imagined wearing it. One of the pictures that made me fall in love with the Penny cardigan is actually by Scandy Stitches over on Instagram, and she wore hers with a high turtleneck, which I think is also super cute with this style of cardigan. I would use like some statement buttons, and I honestly want to knit mine in black, which is kind of going against the spring theme, but I know that this is in my queue and I absolutely want to knit it as soon as possible. I was so inspired on Pinterest seeing these little cardigans with like a bow, like an I-cord bow tie in the front. And the pattern that I found for this was a Celine cardigan by Marika Knit. The size ranges from extra small to 3XL. It is knit up with an Aran weight yarn, which is a little bit heavy for spring, but I think that you could maybe substitute it for like a fluffy mohair or something like that to make it super lightweight and kind of match some of the inspiration pictures that I found on Pinterest. So next up we have the Novice cardigan by Petite Knit again. This cardigan was just a really simple high neck button down, really dainty, really kind of a thin layering to go with an outfit. I love it with some jeans. I love the pink picture that I saw on Pinterest. And of course, the green sample that Petite Knit has is also super, super cute for spring. It is knit up in a DK weight yarn and the sizes go from extra small to 5XL. She actually has a couple different editions of this pattern. I was looking specifically at the mohair version. Like I said, the mohair will just make it super light and airy and also still keep you warm during the spring colder weather. The next cardigan that I found was actually the Romance cardigan by Trico Design MCL. It was inspired by a picture that I saw of a pink cardigan that had a scalloped button band, and that's exactly what this pattern has. It is knit up in a DK weight yarn, and the scalloped button band, anything with a little scalloped edge to me just screams so feminine. And honestly, I want to knit this pattern in French so badly. I'm looking for a pattern to knit in French just to keep my French skills alive. The Pinterest inspiration picture versus the pattern would actually require you to modify the sleeves so that they wouldn't be so tight around the cuff, and would also have you modify a scalloped edge if you wanted it to look more like the Pinterest picture, which I've never modified anything before, but I don't think would be too difficult to do. And I think overall this is a super cute feminine spring pattern that I absolutely love. So the next cardigan is similar in the sense that it has this kind of scalloped button band, which I'm absolutely loving. It is a little bit more on the cropped side, and it also has a little bit of texture throughout, which is so feminine and just really adorable. It is the Violetta cardigan by Alexandra Solovanyuk. This is a DK weight cardigan with sizes ranging from extra small to 5XL. So I love everything about this cardigan, from the crop to the scallop button band to the texture. I love the soft yellow color that the sample is knit in, and I just think this would be a beautiful addition to a spring wardrobe. I do have another cardigan. It is the Casper cardigan by Joanna Garish, which is so interesting because in my pattern roundup videos, I have talked about Joanna Garish's patterns so many times, but I've never knit any of them, so I obviously gravitate towards them. But this one is so lovely, especially there's two samples. The first sample is kind of mohairy, definitely airy. It's got this cute little kind of frill detail at the bottom. Maybe it would be considered a peplum. It's just really feminine. Also, what I love about the second sample are the stripes. I think stripes, especially like white and blue or white and black, are so, I don't know, reminiscent of spring for me. I think it's like a nautical theme that's going on, but it's just a beautiful V-neck cardigan, and it's knit up in worsted weight yarn with extra small to 4XL on the sizes, and it is worked in stockinette top down. So beautiful raglan cardigan. And yeah, I do have a couple of lacy cardigans that absolutely scream spring. And the first one is the Camellia cardigan by Mini Me Knit Design. This is a worsted weight sweater with two lace held together. So kind of like a mohair airy type sweater. It does come in 10 sizes, and it's knit from the bottom up. I think that's the first time we've had this construction as a bottom up so far on this list. But it's just so lacy and airy, and it's just a beautiful design. A couple of the sample photos have also knitted up in like a wool, like a thicker worsted weight wool as opposed to mohair, which is also a beautiful alternative. They both turned out so lovely. And if you're not into the all over lace detailing a little bit like me, then I have the Whitmore cardigan by Amy Loden, which has just a little bit of a lace going on at the top of the yoke. Just beautiful and dainty, and I just think everything about it is super cute. It looks like just like little leaves. And I think that leaves, flowers, obviously all of those things scream spring. And this is a DK weight pattern with sizes from extra small to 6XL. And I absolutely love the lavender color that the sample is knit in as well. So that's it for my cardigans. Let me know which cardigan that you would be most excited to knit for the spring and what color you would want to knit it in. So next I have a couple of 3/4 sleeve cardigans, and to be honest with you, I had never even thought about a 3/4 sleeve cardigan until I was browsing Pinterest and I found an inspiration picture which was absolutely gorgeous, and I was like, maybe I do need it. I love the oversized version that I saw on Pinterest, and I found a couple of options that would kind of replicate this look. The first pattern is actually a free pattern, the first free pattern so far in this roundup, and it's the Pistachio Tee Cardigan by Drops Design. I have never knit any of their free patterns, but I know that they have a lot. So if you have knit any of them, let me know in the comments, like, are they good patterns? And this Pistachio Tee Cardigan has the same kind of look as the Instagram picture, except it's knit up in this lovely mint green color. I think all colors are just perfect for spring apparently. But this is knit up in an Aran weight yarn. It goes from sizes S to 3X. We love a free pattern just to see and test the waters if we would be interested in knitting any more 3/4 sleeve cardigans. I do have another pattern, however, it is the Maggie Cardigan by Petite Knit. I think it's the last Petite Knit pattern that I have on here. I really hope so, because I want to give credit to other designers where it's due, but this one is one of the very few 3/4 sleeve cardigans that I found. I think that if you wanted this to match the Pinterest picture, you would need a lot more positive ease than what Petite Knit usually allows for, but this is a sport weight pattern, and this pattern goes from a XXS to a 5XL. Now, my personal favorite of the 3/4 sleeve cardigans is the September Cardigan by Yun Jung. And this one is actually V-neck, so it does fit a little bit differently, not like the Pinterest inspiration picture that I've showed you, but this one is so delicate. It's so lovely. It does have the oversized fit. It's a drop shoulder construction, and if you can't tell, don't have enough good things to say about it. It is a DK weight pattern, and it has 7 sizes available. It doesn't say anything about the positive ease, but it does look like it is meant to fit a little bit oversized, and I just love the overall detailing on this cardigan. I love the buttons that they picked also for this cardigan, and if I was to knit a 3/4 sleeve cardigan, this would be the one. So those are my 3/4 sleeve cardigan patterns. Let me know if you liked any of those, or if 3/4 cardigans are not your thing. It's not something I'd ever thought about until I was browsing Pinterest. I think it would be super cute though with a turtleneck and some jeans. I don't know, maybe let me know how you would style it if you did a 3/4 sleeve cardigan. So I do have some wraps on here. I think that wraps are super popular right now, and they're super popular for spring. They're just kind of feminine. I like to say feminine for spring a lot because I don't know, something about the energy in the air is like Mother Nature just bringing herself back, and the flowers, and I don't know, just the energy to me is just very feminine. So I included some wraps on here because it's very like ballerina-esque, very soft and dainty. And the Robinson wrap by Florence Miller is the first one that I have on here. It's a DK weight pattern with 9 different sizes. In the sample, Florence has it paired with a kind of like mini skirt, like a little ballerina skirt, and I think that's so cute, but they're also really cute paired with jeans. If you're more into an oversized fit like I am, then the Levitate wrap by My Favorite Things Knitwear would also be a good option for you. It's an Aran weight pattern, so it is probably going to be more on the warm side and be something that you would like take along for whenever the weather gets cool at night, maybe like a bonfire or something like that. Has a cute little tie just right in the front, and it has sizes extra small to 4XL. In the picture, the sample is paired with some white shorts, which again, I already think that white is so perfect for spring, so it's a good opportunity to see how that I would potentially style it. A more unique wrap that I have found is the Scotch Brune wrap by Wool and Pine, and I think it's named after this stitch that is on the sleeve. It is a textured sleeve, so the wrap part looks really similar, but then the sleeve is a little bit more airy, a little more springy. It is a finger and weight pattern, and it has sizes, going all the way to a 178 centimeter bust. And I just think it's overall just really gorgeous. The pictures of the model in the sample, beautiful, beautiful, so ethereal, so spring. If you're more interested in a textured wrap, then I have the Darling Wrap by Pernille Larsen. It is a fingering weight pattern with sizes extra small to 4XL. There is some seaming involved with this pattern. It's knit bottom up, so it's not a pattern that I would gravitate towards myself just based on the construction. But yeah, so that's it for my wraps, and let me know which one that you like the most. I'm of course leaning toward the oversized levitate wrap, but I do love the look of a ribbed garment as well. I do have one skirt that has made the cut for this list, and it's the Sylvia wrap skirt by Aegyo Knit. It is knit in a sport weight yarn, and the reason I like it so much is I like the asymmetry of the front of the skirt, and I like that it wraps because of course knitwear can grow and you want to always be able to wear it, so having something that will like keep it tight, like that can help you to tighten the skirt, is I think very, very helpful. I like that it's a mini skirt or a short skirt, even though I don't typically gravitate towards those. But I think if you made a really fun color and then paired it with like another really fun colored tight for spring, it would just be so, so cute. I'm thinking the red and lavender combo, I can't get it out of my head. There are, however, only 4 sizes for the skirt, which makes me a little bit wary. However, again, with the tie, I feel like you would easily be able to adjust it, and it's actually categorized as an easy to medium difficulty skirt. So I do have a couple of vests also to talk about, and the first one I'm going to talk about is the Zoe shirt by Kadri, which is the one that I'm wearing here. I kind of knit it in a more fall palette. However, I was able to pair this with a flowery skirt that I recently bought, and I think it's also super cute. I have it over the white, which again is like my spring kind of go-to. I love anything with white, but this pattern is knit in sport weight yarn. It goes from sizes extra small to 5XL, and I can obviously attest to this pattern because I have made it. It is a lovely, lovely pattern. I did not get knit a gauge swatch, which was my biggest downfall on this because I did use a superwash merino, but she came out just oversized then, and we love her nonetheless. She's a great, great pattern, and I highly recommend, and I want to knit this again, maybe in another color, but yes, gorgeous pattern, highly recommend. The next vest that I have is the Vilma top by Gregoria Fibers, and I've seen this on my Instagram a few times, and I absolutely was just stunned by it. I love the lacy detail of it. It is an Aran weight pattern, so it is technically meant to be a little bit on the warm side. However, I've seen on Instagram Margot Knitwear, if I find the post, I will of course share it with you guys, made this in a summer yarn, in a linen yarn, and I think it just gave it that extra like drape, the extra like coolness to it if you wanted to make this a spring or summer pattern. I just think the style opportunities for this are endless. You can put it over a dress, you can wear it with jeans, put it over a top like this, and it would just be honestly so perfect for spring. The next pattern that I have actually isn't released yet. Please don't be mad at me. I have been waiting for this pattern to release ever since I saw it. I think it's going through testing now, but it is the Peony Cardigan Annie Sews over on Instagram. I'm gonna put it over here, of course. This designer has been creating these sleeveless cardigans or vests with like a high neck, and they have this like kind of wavy button band, which I think is so cute as a detail, and the colors that they've knit it in so far have been really springy and just so fun, and I really love the button combinations with it. So I'm just having you guys be on the lookout for this pattern. I'm on the lookout for this pattern, and I need to knit it immediately. I even think I have some yarn that I want to knit it in, not 100% sure, but I have plans for this cardigan. So the next one, I'm gonna categorize it in here with the vest, even though it's like a slipover. It's the Detroit Slipover by Sarah Otteson. It's knit up in a worsted weight yarn, and I just happened to fall upon this pattern while looking up for some patterns for this video, and I just think it's absolutely lovely with the button detailing on the side. It's definitely a brioche slipover, but it has just gorgeous detailing, and it looks really beautiful with the white skirt that it's paired with, and I just think it would be a perfect spring addition to a wardrobe. Of course, I've said it a million times, but I just think it's so lovely. This pattern is also free, which we love. It goes from sizes extra small to 4XL. On the model in the picture, it does look like it is meant to be a little bit oversized, which is exactly how I like to wear my garments. Overall, it just looks lovely and really easy to style. Okay guys, we are into the final part of this. I just have some tees and tanks, which again, I wasn't planning to really gravitate towards, but I know that some people want to see some interesting patterns for the spring. And the first one I have is the tee number 1 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. I actually do have this in my queue, and if you can't tell, it's because it is leaning a little more on the oversized fit than more form-fitting. And this is a fingering weight pattern, sizes ranging from extra small to 4XL. I do have a soft spot in my heart for My Favorite Things Knitwear because the second sweater I've ever knit was a pattern from them. So their patterns I can speak to. They have very lovely writing of their patterns, super easy to follow. I love the color of this sample photo. I love a dark color. I'm a dark winter. Those are the colors I gravitate towards. But as per everything I've said, knit this in a beautiful spring color. It will be gorgeous. I love it with the pinstripe pants or pinstripe shorts in the sample photo. I think it's a lovely touch and it's so cute for spring. I love anything pinstripe for spring. Yeah, that's the first tee. Then we have a mixed rib cami, also by Florence Miller. It is a fingering weight design with 9 different sizes. And again, I love texture, and because this one is a little bit more on the modest side, a little bit more high neck, this is one that I would actually consider knitting. I love the color and the way that it is styled in the sample photos with the high-waisted jeans, with the buttons, the jewelry. It just looks very much like something that you would buy at a store, and yet if you knit it yourself, like you would just, you know, flaunt it, flaunt everything you knit. Don't forget to wear your knits, okay? This one is just lovely and I have nothing but good things to say about it. The next pattern I have is the Top Sole by Mochi Knits, and this one is kind of like another take on the bow tie front, except this one is a kind of like tank top version instead of like a long sleeve cardigan version. It looks just super cute, so easy to style with like some loose fitting pants or some jeans, a cute skirt. You could throw it on over a turtleneck. I love pairing vests over turtlenecks, or just kind of like anything short sleeve over a turtleneck. That would just add like a layering aspect, especially if where you're living is still chilly in the springtime. It is knit up in a DK weight yarn and only has 5 sizes though, extra small to extra large, not the most size inclusive, but it is very lovely for the spring. And the last pattern, you guys, is the Campanula Tee by Anna Herman Sorensen. And this pattern just screams like spring in my childhood. I used to have the t-shirts with like the little ruffle detailing on the sleeves and on the neck and also along the waistband, and that's exactly what this pattern has. It's also all over ribbed, just like the tank or the cami by Florence Miller. This is knit up in a sport weight yarn and it has 12 sizes available. And overall, just such a cute pattern. I love the mauve sample and also the green one. Also the white one with like the kind of plaid pants. So cute. That's giving a little bit more fall, but you know, put it with some jeans or again, anything bright colored for the spring and you have a spring pattern. So that is all the patterns that I have for you. I do have a little bit of time left, so I thought I would just talk to you guys about some test knits that I'm doing that are going to be releasing in the spring in the case that you also like these patterns. And I'm not like being sponsored or anything, I'm just test knitting them, and they are patterns that I do find to be lovely. One of them is a bag, and I think that this bag for spring is actually just so cute. I'm always looking for like a cute little bag that I can throw stuff in when I'm on the go, because once the weather gets warm, I'm outside. You will not catch me in my house if the weather goes above 65 degrees Fahrenheit. So I am about to knit up a felted crossbody bag by Safi McNamara. I am waiting for the yarn to come before I can knit it up, but I will post a picture on the screen of what it looks like. It is striped, or I'm sure you can knit it either in multicolors or you can knit it in a solid color, but it's going to be felted, which is going to be my first time ever felting something, and I'm so excited to knit it up. I just absolutely love the idea of this bag for the springtime. Am I gonna tell you the colors? Why not? I'm doing a pink and red version. I've been dying to do a pink and red knit for so long, so I decided to do pink and red, and I'm really, really excited about it. If you want to see that bag, then make sure you subscribe and look forward to, you know, the videos that I have in the future where I talk about everything that I'm knitting. These are just a couple things. And my other test knit right now is a cardigan. It doesn't look like much right now, but I am knitting it in a spring tone. It's a raglan cardigan that I'm knitting for Fashioned by Beth. It is called the capsule cardigan, and I'm just really excited to add this to my spring wardrobe. So as always, let me know what it is that you are working on while watching this video. I hope that if you're watching this during the knit-a-thon that you enjoy the rest of the knit-a-thon and just get to interact with all the different creators that are participating, interact with other people in the comments, and I am looking forward to interacting with you guys throughout this entire video. And I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of the knit-a-thon, and if you're watching this in a future date past the knit-a-thon, then I just hope that you have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you guys in a future video.